LeBron James pulled a boss move over the weekend. He made some comments about the Cleveland Cavaliers, but the most interesting one as his team, LeBron, extended their win streak to 5 in a row. He's now 5-0 in All-Star games as the team captain with the old school schoolyard pick'em type of draft. But he said, whoever drafts Bronny is going to get me. And that was a boss move. But if you're the Cavaliers or if you're any team, do you want a 40-something-year-old LeBron? We're going to talk about it after the bumper. Stay tuned. It's good people. JeffLightsyJr. here with the Black Boss channel and Victory Formation. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and notification bell because we upload every single day. Now, LeBron James, as before Team LeBron went on to win their 5th All-Star game in a row, which is tied a record for any side or any team winning All-Stars in a row. I think the last time an All-Star team won 5 games in a row was the East from 80 to 84. LeBron had some interesting comments over the weekend, both about Cleveland, the city, Cleveland, the team, and some other people. Rich Paul's in some hot water, whether he's lying or somebody else is lying, I don't know. But it was some interesting things that took place over the weekend. But the main thing that I heard was Bron pulled a boss move as far as letting folks know, if you want me at age 40, 40 years old, draft Bronny James, and I'll come play for your team, because his ultimate goal is to play at least 1 year with his son on the court for an NBA team. And to me, that was a boss move, because it's like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I still hold that much weight, even at 40 years old. Or does he? See, that's the thing. LeBron James is still an amazing basketball player. He's just stuck on a really bad team. And part of that is his fault. He's the one that wanted Russell Westbrook over Buddy Hield. He's the one that put all his eggs in the basket of Anthony Davis, who's always hurt. He is the one, and along with Rob Pelinka, is the one who had a lot of clutch players and got all the young players out of the Lakers traded away. Josh Hart, Lonzo Ball, etc., etc. So he's the one, Kuzma, etc., etc. So he's the one that, kind of orchestrated, had all that go down. And it's interesting because he also said in this same weekend, and this is why the LeBron James, Bronny James, Cleveland Cavaliers, it all could, could be interesting. Because one, like we said, LeBron James is 37 years old. Bronny James is only a junior in high school. So that means Bronny's got to finish his junior year. He's got to finish his senior year. And then he's got to do 1 year, as the current rules, he's got to do 1 year either at college, overseas, in the G League. He's got to do 1 year somewhere before he could get to the NBA. So we're looking at 3 years. 3 years before Bronny will be eligible for the 2025. So yeah, this year is his 22. Then his senior year will be the 23 draft. And then he'll have to do the 1 year post high school. That'll be the 24 draft. And so he'll have to wait to the 2025 draft and the 2025-26 NBA season, where LeBron James will be a good old 40, shouty, turning 41 years old in that year. And if you're an NBA franchise, as of right now, getting LeBron James, no matter who you are, hell, you sign right up for it. But getting a 40-year-old LeBron, and the baggage, because LeBron's a lot. We can't act like I love LeBron. But getting LeBron James on your team, it's a lot. It's an adjustment. And getting LeBron James on your team with his son, who's extremely talented, by the way. We ain't going to act like Bronny James ain't talented. But with his son, that could be a circus. And honestly, in all honesty, I think there's only a couple places he'd want to do this at. I think he'd be cool with doing it with the Lakers, obviously. And I don't think they'd mind doing it in Cleveland. The problem, and LeBron went further into saying, and made me think why the Cleveland thing makes a lot of sense, because they asked him about the Cavaliers. And he said, I'm going to leave the door open. In the good words of Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars, I'm going to leave the door open to a possible return to the Cleveland Cavaliers, because LeBron is looking at his roster, or Russ and Russ leading the league in turnovers and broken down Anthony Davis. And, your best young player is Austin Reeves, who was undrafted. And, what I'm saying? THT is not it. And just all of these dudes. And then you look over there to the Cavaliers. And you get a guy like Caris LeVert, who's averaging just under 20 a game. Colin Sexton, who averaged 24 a game last year. He's hurt right now, but he was an all-star. All-star last year. Darius Garland was an all-star this year. Evan Mobley, who will likely win Rookie of the Year. Jared Allen, another big, who was an all-star reserve this year. And he's like, yo. And all of these dudes are 21, 22, 23 years old. What? And so in 3 years, they won't be like the 21. They'll be like 25, 26. Like, when you're supposed to be hitting your peak in your basketball prime. And you could possibly add Bronny to that situation. And it possibly add me. And we could bring another title to Cleveland. Yo, that's looking really appealing. The only thing is, if you're Cleveland, as much as you love LeBron, you know what I'm saying? He's the best athlete in the history of your state, one of the best athletes in the history of the world. He's from Akron, 30 minutes outside of Cleveland. He won you your first professional sports title in 50, almost 60 years? Do you actually want him back? Because if it was 5 years ago, of course you want him back. Hell, if it was this year, you would take him back. But we're talking about 3 years from now. You're talking about a Cleveland Cavaliers team that's shocked everyone, like fourth in the West right now, and that has a young core, this core with Evan Mobley, Allen, Garland, Sexton, and now Caris LeVert, a young core that's going to give the East problems for the next 5, 6, 7 years. A young core that could be special. A young core that could ultimately help them win a title. A young core filled with dynamic players at every position. Mobley and Jared Allen are bigs. Sexton and Garland are tiny guards. And Caris LeVert is a skilled wing. So, Darius Garland averaging 20 points. He's a top-ranked point guard. Colin Sexton averaged almost 25 a game last year, was an all-star. Jared Allen is an all-star this year. Evan Mobley is first or second in Rookie of the Year. He's going to finish first or second. Probably win Rookie of the Year. You're going to bring a 40-year-old LeBron James to that? Well, Cleveland's definitely, because Cleveland ain't going to trade for him. They ain't that crazy. Man, it's something to think about. And you got to think, when you're dealing with LeBron, you got to deal with clutch sports. And as we've witnessed with the Ben Simmons situation, as we witnessed with the John Wall situation, as we witnessed with the Anthony Davis situation before he got traded to the Lakers, dealing with Rich Paul, who's a power broker in the NBA. Shout out to Rich Paul. It's not easy. Dealing with LeBron James, it's not always easy. And who knows that best than Cleveland? Bron left you the first time for Miami. Then he left you the second time for LA. You guys have dealt with Rich Paul. You guys have dealt with LeBron James. Albeit he brought you a title. He ain't going to act like it. And albeit you kind of did him wrong the first time. But do you want to deal with him for a third time? Especially when you're in the power position right now. The Lakers are going nowhere fast. They're a sinking ship. They're like the Titanic. They're desperate for anything. Where the Cleveland Cavaliers are ascending. The Cleveland Cavaliers, their best players are 25 and under. Hell, most of them 22 and under. Mobley like 19. Jared Allen's like 20, 21. Darius Garland, 20. Colin Sexton, 21 maybe. Y'all ascending. Lakers are sinking. LeBron's career, albeit he's been able to keep somehow, some way second in the league in scoring, which is ridiculous. There's no guarantee he's going to be still this guy 3 years from now. Something to think about, though. It's very, very interesting. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Once again, my name is JeffLightsYJr at the Black Boss Channel and Victory Formation. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. You can subscribe to the Black Boss Channel. Also, Facebook, Jeff Lightsy Sports. Facebook, Jeff Lightsy Sports. I'm there. In Twitter and Instagram, it is at JLightsy7. Twitter and Instagram, it is at JLightsy7. You see all my stuff there. First, hit that thumbs up button on your way out. Do you think Cleveland should make a power play to get Bronny James and LeBron James back to Cleveland? I don't know. I don't know if it'll be worth it. Hit the thumbs up button and let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Jeff Lightsy Jr., and I will see you next time. Peace.